Today I thought I'd explain how I make these bridges here that I have, that are these ribbed bridges. I have on my, these are my N-Track modules. Well, I'm going to duplicate those over here on this home section that I roll away. This comes apart here, rolls away, so I can take these modules to a show. But I'm going to kind of give an idea, just give a brief description of how do I put these together. So the first thing is that if you look at how I made these high-rises, I took plywood, one big piece of plywood, and then I traced out my paths that I wanted to make my rails, and then I used a jigsaw to cut out all pretty much the platform there for my rails. Then I took a 3/4 inch thick piece of wood, and on my table saw cut 1/8 inch, approximately 1/8 inch. Maybe if you can go a little touch smaller, go for it. 1/8 inch off of that. So I got a 3/4 by 1/8 inch piece of wood that flexes pretty easily. So I can flex this around the curves here where I want to make that bridge. I highly suggest, one of the other things that I would do is if you get it nice and wet, and the wood is really wet, you should be able to bend it much easier. You don't have to steam it because it's not so thick that you're going to have to steam the wood, but getting it wet would help at least form it and then let it dry a little bit before you glue it. For these sections that I've done, not only on the N-Track module here and over here, but also on these, I forgave I didn't wet the board. I didn't wet these abutments here, or they're not abutments, but I didn't wet these panels. So I was able to get them. But the curve is not quite really steep. I think the one I just showed you before, when I do that one, I may have to make it wet. And making it wet will help it bend better. But I glued those on using the same clamps, basically clamped like they are, but I glued these on to that 1/8 inch platform with wood glue. Once they're glued on, I then, I can't cut with my table saw, because my table saw's got, the teeth are too big, probably a 40-tooth 10-inch blade. I can't make 16th by 16th pieces, so I bought 16th by 16th model balsa from the model shop, or from the my local Train hobby shop, and I glue those on using I've used two different things I'm trying out. I've used the wood solvent glue, or I'm trying a new one here that is this Rapid Dry. Got it at Michael's hobby shop, and I'm trying that out, and it's working pretty good. So I first I glue on the upper rails here, this rail and this rail, and then with the cut small pieces for ribs inside of here, inside those rails once I have them done. So here's one that I don't have the ribs on yet, alright, but that's the piece that's been glued on with wood glue. Put that on first, make sure that dries. I wait quite a while for that to dry, because I want that to be nice and stiff. And then I go in and I take the 1/16 by 1/16 balsa wood pieces to make these pieces, and then the short pieces. And then I've got a lot of these are really nice for clamping things. I also have teeny tiny C-clamps, but I didn't need those. These are working just fine. Once those are done, from this company called MyPerfectColor.com, I matched U.S. Government Federal Standard 595C 24272 is the green that you see on bridges across the country. It's a standardized green color for bridges. This was probably, I don't know, it's more expensive than going to Walmart, but I've got the perfect color. My perfect color. I got the perfect color that I want, and I'm glad I did, because I really love the way that color kind of stands out on my bridges that I've made. you can definitely go to Walmart, get cheaper spray paint that's a close enough color, or whatever. But that's how I did mine. That's how I'm going to do it. So then once all the glue, I'll probably definitely wait at least 24 hours for that glue to dry all the ribs in these sections here. Then once that's dry, again, I'll spray paint it with the Federal Standard Green bridge, and that's how I make those bridges.